All right. So we did a survey of the second year students this past Friday, and we were looking for some observations that they have about non-traditional versus traditional. And some of them may not have even really thought about that before, especially if they're traditional. But we wanted to get like a baseline of how all students feel, so then we could go further into like how does a non-traditional student in a construction class or in automotive feel when they're surrounded by folks that maybe don't look like them or talk like them. So spoiler alert, ATCC is your rock stars. Everybody was included in the second years, and they gave such great marks to the instructors particularly. I didn't ask them about the counselors, but I'm sure they feel the same. So you've heard of Title IX, I'm sure. What I really am interested in is female involvement in male-dominated courses or any kind of non-male person, depending on their gender identity. So we got a baseline here, and thank you, instructors, for handing those surveys out and making sure that they were, it was made clear that they're optional but interesting. So we also asked some questions. If you want to take a look, here's one from welding, another one from welding. I added in a few extra questions just about what do they plan to do in the future? Does it match, the program that they're in right now? Are they just here for fun, or are they serious as well? So the main three questions that I really wanted to get at, however, were, do you fit in with your peers? And that should be basically number 3, where we have the Likert scale. Is being different easy at Arkansas Tech? That's number 6. And we had a lot of neutral responses, you'll see here. Because, my guess is because they're teenagers and you never really quite feel like you fit in. And then, do the instructors include everyone? And as you can see from this graph, very high marks. So the method was cluster sampling. It wasn't random. It's hard to be blind when all of the students are together in one classroom and the instructors kind of know what's going on. But I was blind to it, so if that's any help. And they were definitely open-ended qualitative questions, and 204 students were offered a chance to take the survey, and 126 responded, so pretty good response rate. Now, let's dive into the actual data. So, first question was just a softball, where are you from? And I'm not sure if y'all track this, but this is probably what you've seen. Majority of students are from Russellville. We got a bunch of, Pottsville, Dardanellians, Danville, Atkins, and then smaller towns in between. And I think it'd be interesting to look at how the smaller town folks answer versus the bigger ones. All right, which program are you in? I'm sure you know these numbers better than I do, but the second years were 126 total that responded, and only a few from automation. We didn't get construction surveys, but it was mostly welding, automotive, coding, healthcare, and criminal justice. All right, so I have a lot in common. It was mostly agrees and a few neutrals. Not too many disagrees. Question 4, what do you want to do after high school? So the way that I coded these, I just saw if they fit with the program that they're in. And the majority are really serious. I think y'all are doing a good job recruiting people who know what they want. Only a few, one wanted to be an inventor, one wanted to be an auctioneer. Okay. Very interesting. So now we get into non-traditional versus traditional. I don't think this question was explained, so it's just however the student understood it. most students answered in a way, it was an open-ended, in a way that seemed negative to me, but a lot were neutral, and some were even positive, saying it would make them feel special or that they had something going for them. So it's easy to be noticeably different. We didn't really have too much disagreement on that one. Everybody felt like you didn't have to all be a clone of each other to fit in here, so that's good. And then instructors, again, doing a great job. There were only, I think there were 3 who strongly disagreed. That's pretty good among 126. So this was something Miss Pat suggested. She was interested in like what brings non-traditional students into a traditional classroom, and thought maybe they're watching shows or playing video games that kind of encourage them to get out of their comfort zone. But when I asked the students about the things they love, it wasn't only non-traditional students, but they all kind of like the same things. A lot of just, funny TV shows and shoot 'em up games. So, all right, this one was a little trickier. Questions 9 and 10 are about ATCC. Just interested in what brought them into skilled trades, basically. So most chose ATCC because they really are in it for the career. And then I asked a very confusing question: why would friends or family decide against studying skilled trades at ATCC? I want to know if non-traditional students are being pushed away from the field by their parents. And most folks said that their family would support it. There were some people who said that it's dangerous, or that their family does prefer college. So that's kind of what you would expect. All right, so here are some possible actions that could be taken. I think y'all are already doing a really great job, but if you just really wanted to push student inclusion and get all these numbers to 100%, feeling like they fit in, then I guess more student bonding. I'm sure you do some of that already, although there's only so many hours in a day. But 42% of students were either neutral or disagreed with the idea of having anything in common with their fellow students, so a minority, but I wonder why they said that. Probably because they're teenagers. All right, step 2, incorporate non-traditional student awareness activities. So I'm not sure if this is ever addressed in the classroom, but if in the field there are numbers that skew one way or the other, if it's gender, if it's race, creed, ability, anything like that, I'm not sure if y'all have the time to talk about it, but even like in a lot of the protective equipment that tradespeople use, it's not geared for people with smaller bodies, or there's some things out there. And step 3, assertiveness training. That was something mentioned in the research specifically for females entering male-dominated classrooms. Just how to stick up for yourself if you're being teased, or get your ideas listened to. So it's very hard to tell what a budget for that would be, because it depends on the scale and a lot of factors, but I've done a little research, and you could do it for about $6,000 total. So if you wanted to apply for grants, I'm happy to help. And here's the references. You're welcome to look all those up. And thank you so much for making this possible. You're a very kind audience.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, did you have any questions?
No. Do you have to present this to like a bigger crowd of people?
I can, but this is the extent of my class.
Okay.
And so now I get to do it for my actual enjoyment. I want to be a school counselor.
Oh, okay.
So this is absolutely my passion.
Yeah.